Great white sharks are built to hunt. They are fast, silent, perfectly designed predators. For decades, nothing in the ocean challenged them, nothing hunted them, nothing scared them, until something changed. In recent years, great white sharks have started disappearing, not migrating, not hiding, vanishing. Entire regions where great whites once dominated, suddenly empty. At first, scientists were confused. There were no signs of mass death, no environmental collapse, no clear explanation. But then, the bodies started washing ashore. Massive great white sharks, some over 15 feet long, dead, but not eaten, not torn apart, not scavenged. Instead, they were intact, almost untouched. Except for one thing, a precise opening near the chest, and inside, one organ was missing, the liver, cleanly removed, no struggle, no chaos, just surgical precision. This wasn't random. This wasn't an accident. Something out there was hunting great white sharks, and it knew exactly what it was doing. The answer didn't come from theory. It came from observation. Witnesses began reporting something unusual. Groups of orcas, also known as killer whales, moving into territories where great whites once ruled. At first, it didn't seem significant. Orcas are powerful, intelligent, but great white sharks are apex predators. Encounters between them were rare, until they weren't. Researchers started tracking shark movements, and what they found was disturbing. Whenever orcas entered an area, great white sharks fled immediately, sometimes within hours, sometimes within minutes. Entire populations would abandon hunting grounds they had used for years. They weren't just avoiding conflict, they were escaping something. Then came the direct evidence. In multiple recorded encounters, orcas were seen attacking great white sharks, not randomly, not chaotically, but with precision. They didn't bite wildly. They didn't thrash. They targeted. They flipped the shark, turning it upside down, a state known as tonic immobility, where the shark becomes completely paralyzed, unable to move, unable to fight. Then, the orca delivered a single calculated strike, opening the body just enough to remove the liver and nothing else. The rest of the shark, left behind, floating, useless, because the orca wasn't interested in the meat. It wasn't hunting out of desperation. It was targeting something specific. The liver of a great white shark is massive, sometimes making up nearly a third of the shark's body weight, and it's packed with energy, high in fats, dense in nutrients. One liver can provide an enormous amount of calories, more than enough to justify the hunt, and the orcas know exactly where it is. This isn't instinct, this is learned behavior, passed between pods, refined over time. A hunting technique that requires intelligence, coordination, and precision. This is what makes orcas different. They are not just predators, they are strategists. They adapt, they teach, they evolve their methods, and once they learn something works, they repeat it, again and again, which is why great white sharks don't fight back, because they can't, not effectively, not against something that works as a team, something that understands their weaknesses, something that doesn't just overpower them, but outsmarts them. Imagine being at the top of the food chain your entire life, feared by everything, challenged by nothing, and then suddenly, there's something above you, something you can't outrun, something you can't defend against. That's what's happening in parts of the ocean right now. Great whites are leaving. Not because they want to, but because they have to. Because staying means death. And this shift changes everything. When apex predators disappear, the entire ecosystem reacts. Seal populations increase. Other species shift. Balance is lost. All because something new entered the chain. But there's something deeper here. Something most people don't think about. We tend to believe the ocean has a fixed hierarchy, a clear structure, a known order. But the truth is, the ocean is constantly changing. Power shifts, predators rise and fall, and the line between hunter and hunted is thinner than people think, because even the most powerful creatures in the ocean can become prey. And that brings us to something important, because this isn't just about sharks. It's about understanding how the ocean really works. Unpredictable, unforgiving, and completely indifferent. Out there, control is an illusion. You can be experienced, prepared, confident, and still find yourself in a situation you didn't expect, because the ocean doesn't follow your plan. And when something goes wrong, it goes wrong fast, faster than you can react, faster than you can recover. And in those moments, the biggest mistake people make is thinking they'll just call for help, that someone will hear them. That rescue is as simple as being close enough. But the ocean doesn't work like that. Wind, waves, distance. They erase sound, they swallow it. They carry it away before it reaches anyone. You can be within sight of land and still be completely alone. You can scream until your voice is gone and no one will ever know you were there. That's how people disappear, not because they were far away, but because they were silent. And the people who survive understand one thing. When you can't be seen, you need to be heard. Not with your voice, but with something that cuts through everything else. Something that travels farther. Something that forces attention. Because in the ocean, small things make the biggest difference. And sometimes, the only thing standing between you and becoming another story lost at sea is whether or not someone hears you in time. You need a titanium emergency whistle and a signal mirror to gain the attention of the rescue boats and aircraft.